Call the meeting order of the Sierra Vista City Council special meeting for September 22nd, 2020. May I have a roll call, please, Ms. Evans?
Mayor Rick Mueller.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Rachel Gray.
Here.
Councilmember William Benning.
Present.
Councilmember Gwen Calhoun.
Present.
Councilmember Sarah Pacheco.
Present.
Councilmember Carolyn Humphrey.
Present.
Councilmember Christine Wolf.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Mrs. Adams. Ms. Humphrey, item number 1 is acceptance of the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the agenda for the City Council special meeting of September 22nd, 2020 be approved as written.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We now move on to new business. Item number 2, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that resolution 2020-027, authorization to purchase real property located on Fab Avenue be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Wilson, may we have the staff report, please? Ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. This is an administrative action to approve the purchase of the Fab Avenue property, which is described in your council packet. In order to obtain the title insurance needed to close on the property, an approved resolution directing the purchase of the property by council is required to be furnished to the title company. Your approval of this item will achieve that purpose, and a closing date is scheduled to occur on September 30th. This concludes staff's report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mrs. Wilson?
What was your purchase price?
And I just want to mention one other thing, Mr. Mayor. We obviously we have a willing seller here, and I talked to the family personally before this would occurred. We only had one minor glitch, which was the addition of some closing costs to the price that we discussed prior with council, which didn't. I think it was 75.
3%.
Yeah, yes. So it was a relatively small amount, so we went ahead with that. I also, although not required, this item wasn't in the budget, and since the opportunity to purchase it came after you approved the budget, which we discussed, and although we need the vote because of the title company, I still feel that it's important to have a public vote on an item with real property involved that wasn't in the budget. So I think for a couple reasons that it's proper to have a vote.
So since you brought the budget up, that was my question. When are we going to amend the budget to reflect this?
Well, I don't think, Mr. Mayor, a budget amendment is necessarily required. We have a capital budget. We have money budgeted, for example, for the ambulance station,
Okay.
which now, of course, we got the DSIPS grant for, and that has been.
So I know money is there, Chuck, but my concern is, as far as looking back at the record as to where the money was spent, how does that get accounted for in the budget?
Well,
If it doesn't require a council vote?
It doesn't require a change to the budget to do, it will need to be reflected in the financial reports, so that's more an accounting thing than it is a budget.
And this action will accomplish that?
Yes.
Okay. But Sarah had a question first.
What was the purchase price?
230.
$230.
$230,003 and 3 cents.
And 3 cents.
Yes, and that includes the 3% brokerage fee.
That does include it, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that also include the purchase of those buildings on the property? That's all part one.
Yeah, the tenants in the buildings have been informed of the purchase, and they will be vacated by the end of the year to avoid tax issues. So, and then we'll probably proceed with demolition next fiscal year then.
Okay. So the demo is going to be in
Probably in next fiscal year.
next year's budget?
Yes.
Okay. So my concern then becomes, we have vacant buildings sitting there for months. So it's a little extra burden to make sure they're not trashed. That's the area we're trying to promote, to get people to come down there. And if the city's the landlord and we got trash, there's an issue, so.
Well, if it becomes a problem, Mr. Mayor, we'll try to find a financial solution prior to the budget and bring that to the council if that is
And
an
it
issue.
becomes an issue.
I was just curious, how old is that? I know, I've seen the building, I know what it kind of looks like, but I was curious, how old is that building? When did,
1952.
1959.
9? I thought it was 2.
59?
And then, of course, the usage is up to the council, and we'll bring options with regards to parking, event space, or, you know, whatever the council wants, but we'll have that discussion as we go
And
down the
again,
road.
there's gotta be a public process for the usage part as well, once we get the basic idea just now.
Have we ever conducted any kind of like water study, as far as we know that there's terrible flooding there, and that part of it is gonna have to be used to address the flooding or something like,
Well, I'm
That's
glad
another
you
discussion.
mentioned that, Sarah. Actually, this is a fortuitous thing for us because there is a drainage way through that parking lot, and there is a drainage structure underneath Fry there. And we'll be able to include this property as part of the drainage solution for the Fry Boulevard project then as well. So, yes, that will be taken into account as part of that project.
Any other questions? This is not a public hearing, I don't, but if you had a question that's pertinent, I like to hear it.
Well, I'm the owner of one of the businesses, I think.
Okay.
And nothing has been told to me as a definite deal.
Okay, one of the things we need to do is we need to brief the tenants so they understand what's going on. Obviously, we haven't done that. Okay,
We've been
Yeah.
communicating through Mike Dean, who represents himself as the property manager, and he's indicated to us that all the tenants have been informed. So you're saying that hasn't been the case?
Sort of been informed, yeah.
Sort of.
okay, so we
But
need
they
to
tell me to shut my mouth.
we need to do better, we need to do a better job talking to the tenants.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Any other further discussion on this item? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Seeing no other items on the agenda, meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.